What's up, my brat brothers? This is a quick clip, featured trailer, whatever you want to call it. Yes, I'm back in the cave. Few days in the hospital. Man, I got food poisoning, almost wiped me out. Thank God, I'm okay. So back to business. Got a lot of catching up to do. I got a lot of nitro to do still, but first and foremost, the Taylor 5BILET Beast is ready for its maiden voyage. The MCD, yeah, we still got a long way to go on this, and there's no hurry. I spent a lot of money on this thing. I want to do it right. I'll go over a little bit of what I've done to it so far, where we're at on it. Kind of a decision that I have decided on the engine, and it's not, probably will shock a lot of you. And I just, when everybody goes left, the Muggy usually goes right. I don't follow nobody. I don't follow the crowd. As you guys know, I just do my own thing. Am I an innovator of anything? No, not really. Well, I don't know. Depends who you ask. So I like to do what everybody else isn't doing. So that's why I made the decision. I'm still got to do a lot more research, so it still could change. But so far, I've decided what engine I'm going to put in here. But as you guys know, I told you before, we're going to run a small bore. I don't know if it's going to be the OBR 34 Reed. It's going to be the Taylor 35 when I get it back. The Baja is waiting for the Taylor 35 because it's going to get the first taste of it. Because remember, I told you the Taylor 35, I plan on permanently keeping it in my King Motors Baja. Not going to do many more upgrades to this. Maybe as far as the clutch bell, the black bone and the bonehead carb, maybe, or it might go the Taylor. I might just go all the Taylor on the whatever that clutch, the housing plate is over here. This thingamajigger down in here. Maybe go the Taylor top thing. That's about the only other upgrade I'm going to do that. I've already put a lot of money into it. I didn't want to dump too much in it. Arms are going to stay the same. I might go when they break, whenever that is. The next move would probably be the, I forgot the name of them, but they're plastic upgraded ones. DDM carries them. So anyway, back to the 5 Beast. Okay, this thing is a piece of art. This is like the Picasso of 5th scale race buggies. And the only two that I know of are this one and MCD. The MCD, from what I understand, talking to people that own the MCD buggy, it's probably more efficient than this. Not a lot, a little more. It's strictly, it's like this. It's designed for racing. This is more bashing, although I could still race it. That may come up in the future, I'm not sure. But I know for a fact, this thing, especially what I've done to it now, is 10 times more durable than any MCD buggy, period. Probably any 5th scale out there. This thing is bulletproof now. Yeah, probably put on about a ½ pound, but other than that, this thing is a just work of art, man. I mean, just look at her. She's ready to go, man. I just finally got the endpoints together. I'm running this time. This is the biggest gearing I'm probably ran. No, I think I have maybe once. But I'm going to run on this OBR 34 Signature Series. I'm running on it a 23 pinion. So I think it's the stock gearing on these are 58. So it's 23, 58. We'll see how that goes. Hoping it doesn't take too much away from the bottom. But I know every time I run this 34, and the last time we ran it, it's been a while, it just gets stronger and stronger, man. OBR strong all day long, man. These OBR engines, I've only got like maybe 5 gallons through it, right about 5, and it still keeps getting stronger. It's bad. That's why I love this engine, man. It's perfect. But anyway, give me a second, and we'll go under the. Okay, people. I'm gonna have to split this up because when I send it to you, a lot of you guys on Messenger, it'll only give you so much. So if the first one I send you cuts off, or if it's too short, I'm gonna send you this part, which will be the second part, so you can really take a look at this 5B, and then I could go over the MCD, because I know a lot of you guys, a lot of my nitro guys, you guys know I've got a lot of nitro to run. You know, we got to clean the muggy still. I've got like 5 whips I got to clean as far as my 8-scale nitros. A lot of work ahead, so I probably won't be running nitro for a minute. I do have a lot of engines to break in. The MBX7 over there, we're probably going to throw the... I'm going to try out the Alpha Point 28 that I modified, that Lance modified, in there. And then probably run one of the buggies. I'll probably break in the 521 Reds that's in my, I believe it's in my Cobra, my Serpent. So, but that'll be coming up. So anyway, back to, for the nitro guys, we'll get to that soon. So be patient. Yeah, so this thing, man, I mean, the Turtle Racing, billet arms, billet composites, because they're billet, they're CNC billet. Crazy, man. These things, I don't think if I smack a pole like I did that one time, I don't think these things will go anywhere. It'll probably just bounce off. Plus, we've got titanium hinge pins inside out. You know, we've got the Taylor bling bling there in the front. You know, we got the Taylor top plate. We got the titanium Taylor posts in here. You know, I mean, this thing just, I didn't hold back. The only other thing, like I said, there's one other thing too I can upgrade. It's going to be a little pricey, but is these, replace these. I think it's RC modified. They make these out of billet. So the body mounts for the front and for the one in the rear. So, but that will be later down the line. But there she is, 34 Signature Series OBR reed case. Bad mother. Obviously, you know I run the Olamat pipe. It's the only pipe that I'll probably ever run on this engine. It doesn't know any other pipe. Dan is trying to talk me into the OBR pipes. Maybe I might try one later, but it's a stamp pipe. I mean, you know anything about pipes and anything about welding, fabricating, you know, come on. Custom Olamat, handcrafted by Simon. I mean, this pipe, perfect for this engine. Yeah, so to put a stamp pipe on an OBR, I don't think it's going to wow me. This pipe is perfect. If anybody has one of these, and most of you guys that do, you know this Olamat pipe, for when you have this engine in a platform like this is the baddest pipe you can get. It's worth the 200 whatever bucks a month I waited. So anyway, endpoints were a little, I had to do a lot of adjustment because I've got a bigger pinion on there, so it's pushing the engine out. So that was kind of a tricky deal for me because this thing is only so long, this throttle linkage. But we got it good. I got good brakes. It's nice and free. Throttle all the way. So anyway, there you go, rear end. Badass chassis plate. Billet housing. Same in the front. You know, this chassis is sick. You know, the shock towers, the whole deal. This thing is just, you know, I got the carbon fiber mud guards mounted because I had to redo the holes as far as for these new Turtle Racing arms. But anyway, there it is, the 5Bs ready to rip in a neighborhood near you. So anyway, she's all good. And now to the MCD. So, if you guys know or don't know, Horman look like, to me, Uber spikes. These are the Hormans that I put on here. I think they look kind of small. I think it Needs a little bigger tires, but yeah, I mean, they're light. I mean, they're dish, you know, rims, which is, you guys know I like. I love dish rims. I like that. I want my whips, my 5th scale buggy and the truck to look like an 8th scale nitro chuggier buggy. That's why I built them that way. I'm not into all those other type of rims and dish rims or nothing. So anyway, there's the Horman with the cardinal emblems on it. We got the, you guys can see under there, we got the bonehead carbon fiber guards mounted. I mean, this thing is just, like, every time I look at it, man, this thing is just so sick. I mean, look at that. Work of art. Badass. So anyway, we did the shocks. I'll tell you, if anybody gets one of these vehicles or thinking of getting one, these things are very, very, very technical. Very technical. So, hold on one second. I think this video might be a little too long, so there might be 3 of these pieces I'm sending you guys. Okay, in case you guys missed anything in that video, I might have to shorten these videos to send them all to you guys, so there might be a few pieces, but anyway. This is the MCD W5 Pro Ultimate. Now, as far as the body, I haven't decided. Well, I've been talking to Barry Gamble. If you guys know or don't know who he is, he's the one that did John Bodagel's first Truggy 4.0 Truggy and Buggy bodies, and then he did that badass God of War sick paint job on for his 4.0 Truggy. I'm thinking of maybe getting something like the God of War on this, you know what I mean, something different. I know Barry's the guy to do it. He showed me some pictures that he's done of 5th scale stuff. So I'm not gonna do Pit Dog Hydro. All his shit just looks the same to me. I like Barry because a lot of his stuff is just different and unique. I'm also thinking of, if you guys seen that body up there, that's the one for my, I believe that's for my Techno Truggy. I was thinking of getting that paint job or something similar to that on the MCD. So, or I might do it myself. You guys know me. I can paint. You know, I'm not the greatest painter, but I can throw down a paint job. So, you know, it depends. If I want to spend a couple $100, I might just have him do it, but I'm still deciding on what I want him to do to it. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is so complex. Like I was saying, if you guys are going to get one of these things, the shocks are very complex. I've never seen a shock put together like this. The insides are crazy. It was a bitch for me to do, but I stiffened the rear. And the crazy thing is, these MCD shocks, they're all the same size. There's not like a small front and a big rear, you know, like the 5B or 5T. They're all the same. So these are the rear, thickened them up. These are the front, little, not as much, just a tad. They're okay, pretty much almost okay stock, but the back ones were too soft for me. So, but anyway, yeah, look at this thing. Thing is just sick. You guys see in there? Man, what makes this aluminum different from like the Taylor billet is this is lighter. Why? Because it's aircraft aluminum. It's not billet. Well, it is billet, but it's billet aircraft. The Taylor stuff's just CNC machine billet. It's not aircraft aluminum. That's why this aluminum on this thing is as light as their polymer plastic. Yes, that's right. And that's coming from Mohair. People think because it's all billet, you know, the aluminum on it and the arms and everything, it's heavier. No, this thing is actually lighter as a roller than the 5B. That's crazy, huh? All right, people. Well, there's 3 pieces of videos for you guys. Like I said, I'm waiting to get the 35 back. We're gonna run it in the Baja first. Then I'm gonna probably pull it out, which I don't know, but I would like to run it in this for its maiden voyage. But it's so much easier. I love this 5B. The reason I'll tell you why I love it so much. Yes, I've got like probably over $6 grand in it now. I love it because it's such a joy to work on. It's so easy. It's just like a giant nitro buggy, man. It's what it is, you know. And it's such a joy to work on, man. Everything just comes in and out really easy, you know. Unlike this thing is not so far for me. I mean, it's cool to work on, but I got to get to know it. It's very, very complex. The engineering, the design. I mean, it's just way technical. If you're not a technical person, and you don't like to wrench, definitely don't buy an MCD. Never. You will quit. It's very complex, man, but I like the challenge. It's definitely a challenge for me. So that, I'd rather chew glass than work on that. Oh, last thing, check this out. What the hell, Muggy? Is that a brand new Savage X 4.6? Yep, and it ain't mine. So don't get it twisted. I didn't buy this thing. It's a friend of mine's. He wants me to pull the engine out and change the rotor start to a pull start, which I don't know why he's going backwards, but he's more comfortable with pull starts than he is with the rotor start. So anyway, that'll be coming up on probably one of these videos or one of my videos, or maybe I might put it on the next video. I think people are going to be really blown away, especially all those Savage lovers, when they see the Muggy's got a Savage in his cave. It's only because he's a good friend of mine. So I mean, obviously he's paying me to do it, but you know, still, I'd rather working on this thing is the same as working on that thing. You know what I mean? I'd rather chew glass. That's not a joy to work on. Yes, it's fun to drive. Yes, you know, it's probably going to be a wheelie king, all that. But as far as driving it, as far as working on it, no bueno. All right, people, that's about it. Hopefully you guys get all 3 of these videos, even though they'll probably be split up. All right, Muggy's out. Catch you guys soon. Peace. What up, Nitro Nation? Welcome back to the Nitro Cave, all buggy, truggy, muggy, monster truck maniacs, and 5th scale insaniacs. Why? Because they're insane money, especially, and we'll get into this, when you wreck them. You will pay double to triple what you would pay for the same piece, arm, part, whatever it is, of a nitro. So it's not only a bigger scale, it's a bigger scale of money. So the first part of this video, obviously you guys seen. This will probably be 45 minutes to an hour video. So grab some popcorn, grab the sodas, make sure the kids are occupied. If you're wrenching, this is going to be a perfect wrench video. You're going to hear and see a lot of things that are going to shock you on this video. Not the norm. One is obviously you're looking at it, okay? We're going to unbox this. It's brand new. It's a really good friend of mine. Like I said prior on this video, those clips that you see on the video, those are clips I usually, like little prequels that I put together. And I send on Messenger to a handful of people. You know, Chris 1/5, Elite RC, you know, Nitro Mike, various guys that some people are familiar with, some people aren't. Guys that used to be into Nitro. Definitely, I usually wouldn't be doing a video because the last video, if you look, doesn't even have 400 views. And I know it's not going to get to 500 views, so I'm not going to, keep you guys waiting to update you what's going on with me. Especially one of the things that you heard prior in this video that, I got really sick. I didn't have COVID or anything like that. I have all, my shots. I got food poisoning, and I have high blood pressure. I'm diabetic. So magnify the sickness 10 times that. I ended up in ICU for a few days. I've been on sick leave from work for geez, almost a month. Okay, it almost killed me. Like, literally, I dialed 911, and, you know, I thought I was going to die, man. Literally, man. It's not a joke. If you guys have ever got food poisoning, you know what I'm talking about. And because I have, you know, high blood pressure, I'm diabetic, it just adds to that. So, anyway, I'm okay. Thank God. It's not my time to go. And, you know, a lot of people, thank you for, you know, your concern and your prayers, and everybody that reached out, you know, during the time that I was in the hospital. But I'm back, and I'm behind, man. I've got, like, we'll get into this in a second. I've got, like, you heard prior in this video, I've got like 5, I'm not running any more nitro probably for a couple weeks, because I got 5 vehicles that I need to tear down and clean. And you guys know me, usually when I have 1 or 2 that are dirty, I don't run. I don't like to, you know, pile on running vehicles and get them all dirty. And then you got a bunch of whips, and I've got like a dozen nitros that, you know, I'm already like at 5. So I gotta go through them, clean them. It's not gonna take me forever, probably be a couple weeks. So that last nitro video, obviously, that's so you're not gonna see any nitro for a while. We're gonna get more into 5th scale too. That's coming up. The Baja, we're waiting on the Taylor 35. I will admit, I was an idiot. I should have not even messed with it. I wanted to learn, but obviously, you know, thank God that John and Mike are really cool. And the issue that they had with that Taylor is the bearings, the bearings that go around the connecting rod were faulty. Some people had engines, you know, and I'm just going to keep it real, engines that seized. I have, you know, and I know people out there that had Taylor 35 seize up on them. So Mike did the proper thing and just sent out a bunch of these bearings to replace. I should have just sent it to Mike, which I could have, but I wanted to try to learn. What happened is when I put the piston ring back in, it has to be in a certain, I didn't get it crooked, so I didn't scar the piston or anything. It's fine. John ended up sending it to Mike. Mike has it right now, and he's going over it. But what happened is, I believe that the ring was turned and not positioned right. So when I put it back in, because it wasn't positioned right, I think that affected it. So I'm not 100% sure, because Mike hasn't told me what he found, but that's what I'm thinking. That's just my assessment. Okay, that's the only thing that I can think of, because it was a pain in the butt to get the ring back in there. So like I said, John said there's nothing mechanically wrong with it. So we sent it to Mike. Mike's gonna get it fired up, because I couldn't, obviously. And you know, I regret even touching it, but then at the same time, you know, if he didn't replace it, you know, I mean, I risk the engine seizing, and I don't want that to happen. But like I said, I was an idiot. I admit it. I admit my errors. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes. I should have just sent it to John in the first place and had him do it. So, but anyway, you learn. Good thing is Mike's got it. I know he's going to get it fired up. Let me know what's going on with it, and it should probably be back in a couple weeks. Throw it in the King Motor Baja. Rip it in that thing. I know it's going to be a wheelie monster. I don't care about wheelie bars. Wheelie bars are for sissies. Brakes are for sissies. We're just going to rip it. If it flips around, whatever, who cares? So after that, it's probably going in the MCD, but it's just too much pain in the butt to pull. You can't just pull the engines in and out of these Bajas. Okay? They're, like I said, you heard on the part of the video, I'd rather chew glass than wrench on this thing. And you guys know I like to wrench. I love wrenching almost more than running. Okay? And I don't mind technical. That's why I bought this MCD. Okay? Because it is very technical. Like I said, you heard me prior in the video, if you don't like to wrench and you're not at experience, I wouldn't even get it. It's not for beginners. This is not a beginner vehicle. No MCD is. Okay? They're very technical. I mean, even if you get the entry-level Pro, which has more plastic, still, it's a very complex vehicle. It's well engineered, as you guys seen. This thing is just every time I look at it, man, I'm lost for words. There's no you can't describe it. You have to see it in person. Camera doesn't do it any justice. It's freaking Picasso, man. This is the Bugatti, okay, of fifth scale trucks. Forget about, I don't care if you have a full billet 5T. I don't care if you have a full whatever, top of the line, 30 degree north. Vetka, any. This thing here is, that's why it's called the Ultimate, is the ultimate 8 scale short course truck. There's nothing better than this. The Pro, yeah, it's entry level. By the time you get done upgrading to where this thing is, you're going to spend more than it would cost you just to buy this for $3 grand. Okay, so it's not, it's not for beginners. This is something that, you know, I've got at least 2 years experience, you know, barely in fifth scale. I'm not, you know, I'm still learning, you know, but I like to wrench, and I'm pretty technical. And this thing is, I only just did the shocks, and they were challenging, okay, as you guys heard on the video. And I'm thinking of the diffs, but for now, I think from what I'm still talking to Mohair about it. This thing, the way it is stock, the grease that's in these diffs, a lot of guys that have the Ultimate run the grease with big bores even, but I have a feeling that I'm going to want to go up on the, if possible, on the diff oils when I put a big bore in it. But like I said, that won't be for a while. Probably not till next year, but we're going to run a small bore in it because that's what Mohair recommended. He knows he's better than anybody. And Mohair, the owner of Cardinal Racing, told me, he goes, if you want to really appreciate these vehicles for the design, it's designed to race. It's designed to race and win. Okay, it's a thoroughbred. Okay, it's not designed to bash, even though guys bash it. It can handle big bores. Mike said I can push probably a 71 out of this, but it would be pushing it. And I don't, you know, from what, and we'll get into this in a minute, from what I've seen from a certain person, you know, and he knows who he is. I know he watches my videos, whether he admits it or not. I watch his stuff sometimes too. You know, I'll just pop in to see what he's up to, you know. I have no shame in my game. Just... I don't even know what to say, man. I feel for the guy. As much as we don't get along, we don't see eye to eye. Probably never will. I don't condone or really, you know, agree with a lot of stuff that he does, but I don't have to. It's his channel. He can do what he wants. Same thing with anybody. Okay? You know, but I really feel for the guy, man. If I did that to I would probably quit. I would cry. I would cry. I'm not afraid to admit it, man. I'm every bit of a man, but hey, I would cry, man. Really. These are like, to most of us, I don't know if you guys can relate, to those that have expensive fifth scales, these are like our kids, man. Can you imagine? He just put his child in ICU. Like where I was. Because he did some damage. And I hope he learned his lesson, man. I don't ever run my stuff. You know, I'll be really light on it just to check, to make sure everything's tight, like when I run this thing, and just to kind of get a decent tune on it without the body. But other than that, when I start ripping it and I'm not running without the body. I'm never, man. I don't care. None of these things I will. They're too much money, man. Somebody asked me, what do you got into your 5B now? You know, you heard prior in the video of all the stuff that I've done to this thing. I've got probably what he put into his whip. I've got over $6 grand in this thing, but it's way different. This is no two-wheel drive. This is no hybrid. This is a bulletproof race buggy. Yes, I bash it. Hopefully one of these days when I get around to it, it just takes a lot of time. Dan keeps trying to talk me into it. I'll get this thing to a track. This thing too. These are designed race kits. Only difference is, well, big difference is this one is a little bit, well, I don't say a little bit, it's a lot more technical and engineered than this thing is. But I know from people, and you could ask anybody, I don't know if I mentioned this, but people that own the MCD buggy, which is bad to the bone, okay, and a regular one of these, but this isn't regular now. This thing is a full bulletproof billet race kit, okay? And I can't wait to run it. I know my OBR 34, like I said before, it keeps getting stronger every time I run it. Even with another tooth on it, it's still gonna rip, okay? It might not have the pop off the bottom end because of the one more tooth on the pinion. But when this thing mid, like maybe after the first 5 feet, 10 feet maybe, this thing is gone. This thing is just an animal. And it's just, it's in a class all its own. And like I said, I've put a lot of money into that. I will never, ever, ever rip this thing with no body on it. Heck no. You're asking for trouble, and I hope the guy learned his lesson. But we'll get into that in a minute, because there's something that is probably going to surprise a lot of you that I'm going to tell you. Something that I'm willing to do. But anyway, we'll get into that. So anyway, back to this. We're going to get that going. We're going to rip it. And because it's not easy to pull the engines in and out of this, I might just leave the Taylor in the Baja, King Motors Baja, because that's what I plan on doing. Just keeping it in here, and that's what it's for. And it will be a badder asser Baja with that Taylor 35. I guarantee you, okay, that this thing will be pulling the wheelies like crazy. So anyway, we'll get back into these two things. First off, what we're gonna do, we're already what, 13 minutes into this video, plus the other one I put in together, 18, 19, 21, 32, 30, yeah, so I don't want to take too much longer. I want to keep this around maybe under an hour. I might get some footage of this. I was going to run today, this weekend, but it's hot as heck. It's like almost 100 today, which is good for nitro, but for fit scale, they don't like the heat, okay? I don't know if you know that or not, but you'll learn. So, but anyway, and there's a couple nitro things I'm going to go over, but this is mostly about fit scale and about, you know, the person that I just talked about too. I want to, you know, this is going to be this thing is, it's ready to roll. So I wanted to let you guys know, and you guys obviously seen this thing. It is just, man, I feel like, you know, I don't know, between these two vehicles, and this is what I wanted. I wanted to build, these will probably be my last fit scales. I won't, you know, make any promises that I won't, you know, or say that I won't ever get one, but for now, until I'm going to plan on moving into a bigger place, because as you guys can see, this cave is getting stuffed. You know, how many people sleep, eat, breathe, and crap fifth scale nitro? I mean, I go to bed and I look at these things. I wake up and I look at these things. Yeah, I have a, you know, apartment, living room, dining room, kitchen, all that area, but this, I live in my man cave. You know, some people are like, oh, well, you can't afford your own. Well, no, I have a roommate. I have my own place. I just decided to turn my room into a man cave. A real, this is like a garage, but not a garage, okay? So, but I'm gonna move into a place of my own. So this would probably, something like this would be just, I wouldn't sleep in here. This would just be a room of all my stuff. I've got so much stuff, man. I really probably shouldn't even got this, even though I really wanted it, because I wanted to take fit scale to a whole nother level, even though that already is. I wanted the baddest race buggy fit scale that you can ever build, which this is still, like I said, is the only kit besides the Vetka, but the Vetka is not for racing. You can't race those tanks. They're too heavy. It's a boat. This is the only race kit that you build that is designed for racing. And now it is full bullet or billet proof. Okay? It is just an animal. This thing is a work of art, man. Yeah, so, and I wanted to build the baddest fit scale truck ever. Yeah, the Outlaws are cool. They're a hybrid. I mean, they don't handle, man. They just don't. It's two-wheel drive. I mean, what do you think? I mean, obviously, the person we were talking about, there's a perfect example, man. I'm even leery of putting a big bore in this now. I will tell you that I am getting what I'm getting. I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you it's going to either be ALX or it's going to be Taylor. I'm in between. But I will tell you, you're going to be surprised what I get, and it's going to be between a 60cc and a 70, somewhere in there. But my maiden voyage, when I do put a big bore in here, I'm not going to rip it, especially without the body. That's just crazy, man. Like I said, I'm not going to rag on this guy. I feel for him, man. I feel his pain, and I mean that sincerely. That may surprise you because a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. I do. I mean, these are, like I said, like our children. And I know that guy is hurting right now, man. That's why what I'm going to tell you is probably going to shock you guys, but it's just, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So anyway, I wanted to build the baddest, one of the baddest. It's not the baddest, but considering what I've done to it, with the Taylor 35 in there, I know it'll be a badass Baja. I wanted to build a badass Baja, a badass truck, race truck, and a badass race buggy. And I think I pretty much got them. That one's complete. It's, like I said, I've got over $6 grand in that thing now, easily. I probably got $7 grand in it. But it's a race kit. It's not a two-wheel drive. It's not a hybrid. It's all billet, except for the arms. I mean, but these turtle racing arms are just, I could tell you I'll do the same thing if I hit that pole like I did on that one video with these. It'll bounce off. You're not breaking these things, especially because I got titanium pins and the hinge pins holding it together. Like I said, this thing is a freaking half a pound heavier. I don't mind. So instead of 37, I think these weigh fully dressed in a full tank. I'm probably around 38. As long as I'm under 40. I mean, it almost weighs probably as much as a 5T because of the billet now. But it's bulletproof, man. I can just bash the heck out of this thing. I mean, if I had a round, I could send it off a woogie round. This thing is good to go, man. I can't wait to run it, man. It's been a minute. Especially with that engine. I love OBR 34 Reed Signature Series. I know Dan's going to be doing a video. If he hasn't done it already, he's supposed to be doing a video because people get it confused of a full modified 34. Full mod 34 Reed. It's a big difference. The Signature Series, and this one has a crank mod, is another level. Remember, and this is coming from Dan. Okay, not me. You can call him and ask him. This Signature Series 34 Reed, with the crank mod, it's balanced Lightning crank, has 2 more horsepower on the dyno, okay, than the 34 full mod. Okay, Signature Series and full mod, different. The Signature Series is the top of the line engine they make. And this thing is just, I don't even know if it's broken in still. It's got almost 5 gallons, like I said, and it just, every time I run it, man, it gets stronger and faster. It's crazy. I love it. It's the most reliable engine. I could let this thing sit for 3 years, or let it sit for a couple winters or whatever. Mount it in, or, just let it sit in here. 2, 3, maybe 4 pulls. It's good. Fires right up. No problem. Most reliable engine, So anyway, that's what I wanted to do, and I think I've done it. I'm probably going to put way over 7. I'll put probably about close to 8 grand into this thing when I'm done. Okay? Crazy. So anyway, that's what's kind of the updates on my fit scales. Let's get into this, and then I'll get into what I wanted to tell you about the person we're talking about. Okay, so this is a Savage X4.6 big block. People are like, what the heck, Muggy, are you doing with a Savage? Why is it even in your cave? Well, I have finally come around and realized that Savages are the way to go. Baddest monster truck ever. Not! Come on, man. I still stand behind what John said in that video you guys have seen many times. These are headaches. The only reason my cousin, or it's not my cousin, I'm sorry, my friend, told me, hey, if you replace the rotor with the pull start, which he's just, I don't know, that's going backwards to me. He's more, he's better with the pull starts than he is with the rotor starts. He's giving me $100 to do it. And it's, I've worked on them before. These things are not fun. It's HPIs. It's the same kind of similar design to the Bajas, you got to take apart the whole thing. To get the engine out, you got to take apart half the car. You know, so it's not fun. But he's a good friend. I really contemplated. I mean, even though he told me he'd give me $100 to do it, I still was like, you know, if he wasn't a good friend of mine, if it was just a customer, you know, somebody that, you know, because I have my thing on the side that I do on Facebook where I help people out, mostly Traxxas and garbage I'm always working on. I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have said no. I don't like working on these, and I don't like working on Traxxas. Biggest headaches. Just not fun to work on. This is a joy. That is very complex, so it's not, I don't know yet. I'm still getting into it, but it's more challenging to work on. This still, in my opinion, is the easiest because it's an exact replica of an 8-scale nitro buggy. Dual steering. People say the 5T is the same thing as the 4.0. No, it's not. The center diff is not the same as this. This is aluminum diff. The steering on this, the steering on the 5T is not like the 4.0. The 4.0 buggy and truggy have dual steering. This has dual steering. This is the only vehicle, as far as the low-Cs, that is identical, just bigger, like 5 times bigger, identical to the 4.0 nitro buggy. Low-C, okay? Identical, okay? The 5T isn't identical to the 4.0 low-C truggy. Do your homework. It's not. It doesn't have dual steering. The angles of the gears, it's different. It's not the same. Plus, it's an RTR. It's not built. This, you have to build it. Just like the 4.0. 8-scale nitro TLR, the old one, 4.0. You have to build it. Okay? Now, if you built the 5T, I wish they would have done that, because I probably would have got one of those if it was a kit. The 5T, you don't build. It's an RTR. Okay? This is the only one you build. So, but anyway. Yeah. So, that's why I love working on it. Just like working on an 8-scale nitro, just bigger. It's such a joy. I love working on that thing. So anyway, back to this. No, I am not a Savage guy. No, I will never be a Savage guy. No, it's not the baddest monster truck ever made. The baddest monster truck ever made is that right there. Anybody knows that knows anything about anything. Okay? It's considered a hybrid, but because of the big tires and everything, it's considered an MT. And it's the only one that you can bump start. That's why I got it. Plus, Muggy Maniac. Gotta have a Muggy. It's iconic. I will give it that. Am I a TLR guy? Well, no. Even though I own 2 of them. Still not a TLR guy. But those 2 vehicles I am. Bam! So there we go. Brand spanking new. Okay, so let me put you guys on my stand so I can, and it is even hot in my room. It's like 100 today, so that's why I don't have my shirt on. I am a monkey hairy. So anyway, see, can you guys see that? This is the first thing that comes. Let me see what, because I've never unboxed, and people are probably blown away right now, because especially all you Savage guys. Hey, if it floats your boat and it makes you happy, that's all that matters at the end of the day. I don't even know what kind of radio this is. This is HBI. It'll work, I guess. I tried to talk my friend out of this thing, and he got hooked up with it, so hey, it's good for him to learn on. I recommend him, hey, once you learn on this thing and you get tired of busting pull starts, get a race kit. Highly recommend it. You know, these are kind of like a, what's that old expression? They're like a fat chick. Or, you know, or what they say, like a moped. Yeah, we'll use that as an example. So I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Just in case any women are watching. So disregard the fat girl thing, but I'm not no skinny guy, so I got a little tubby on me. But anyway, It's like a moped, these things. They're fun to drive, fun to ride, but you don't want your friends to see you on it. So there's the remote. What else do we got in here? Let's take this thing out, take a good look at it. There's the body. Bam. I don't know what kind of, what is it, Chevy, Ford? I don't even know what it is. Kind of decent looking, I guess. There's that. What else do we get? We get, I don't even know what the heck this is. Oh, plug. Yeah, what you do with these plugs for charging batteries, you throw them in the garbage. That's what you do. This here looks like wrench. Oh yeah, the battery deal. This thing, don't ever run those. If you do, you're asking for trouble. The battery comes loose. Even if you tape them, still the battery comes loose, run away. Done deal. Get rid of it. Get a rechargeable. I recommend a life pack. Probably the way this thing is, I would get a Kotek Life 6.6. Be fine. But anyway, there's that. Here's the what he wants me to do. I'm not going to bore you with. I was going to, you know, put it in and show. I'm not going to do any of that. So I got to get this thing squared away for him so I can get it back to him. But anyway, there's the pull start that he wants, and I told him you might want to get a few of these. What else is in here? Oh, the one-way bearing. Yeah, love that, huh? Anybody that says a one-way bearing, it's too much. All that weight, man, you're just putting more stress on the engine. Yeah, it's a 4.6. Yeah, it'll do wheelies, but how can it not do wheelies? It's a monster truck. There's the guidebook, stickers, manual. What else do we got in here? Oh, I'm gonna give you a little bottle. Oh, there's your AA batteries. There's your potential runaway. Don't run these, man. I swear you're asking for it. What else do we got in here? Oh, this is what he was talking about, I think. It's like an engine protector. He said if I told him, I don't know if you really need it, but if you want me to put it on, no big deal. So what else do we got? Last but not least, all right, the magic wand. Oh! What's magic about it? Nothing. I don't know why they call it the magic wand, but, or wand, or whatever you want to call it. Roto start. Yeehaw. Okay, now, let's take a look at, let me get this box out of the way. Let's take a look at this thing. There you go. Take you guys off the stand. So, there you go. Savage. Like I said, you know, I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's just, why do you want the headaches? Why? I don't get it. You know? Whatever the level you want to be, that's up to you, man. I'm done, you know, with knocking people, and, you know, I just keep it real, man. That's just reality, but some people say, you know, sometimes better to keep your opinion to yourself. So, anyway, here it is. Yep. We will be working on a Savage. Go figure, huh? How the heck did this thing make it in my cave? Man, this thing just looks like a headache. I mean, to get to this, look, to get to the drive shafts, you gotta take apart the whole thing. Kind of suspension. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. A little springy, but yeah. There's the 4.6. Brand new, man. Look at this thing. It just smells new. Those tires got that brand new tire smell. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I guess it's something to learn on, but at the same time, you're gonna have more headaches when stuff goes wrong. They're only fun when you're not wrenching on them. I can't even believe, I don't know how hard this engine is going to be to get out. I think I might be able to pull it out with no issues, so hopefully it doesn't take me all day. I charge $35 an hour, so he is paying for this. So I told him if it takes 3 or 4 hours to change that, he said no issues. I mean, no worries. So, I mean, yes, even though he's a good friend, you have to pay me to work on one of these things. I work on Traxxas for friends too, but it's a lot of headaches, man. So anyway, there it is. You guys seen it here first. The Muggies. This is the last year's model, I believe. This isn't the new one. This is the older one. So I don't really know the differences. I mean, it looks cool, you know. It's a monster truck, but just because it looks cool doesn't mean it's a joy to wrench on. And that's part of the hobby, is it's not just running them. You don't just run these things and put them away. You got to clean them and you got to tear them down. Man, this thing it's just like that Baja, man. That Baja, I hate working on it. And I've learned all the little secrets and stuff, but it's just there's so many pieces. Instead of having 4 pieces for a part, they've got 10. So you got to take apart everything to get the engine in and out of this thing. Oh my gosh, what a headache. Compared to this thing, 4 bolts, unplug the kill switch, unmount the back of where the pipe mounts to, and undo the linkage, boom, right out. That's it. This thing right here, oh my god, I gotta take apart half the car to get the engine out. But anyway, so back to this. That's it. HBI, gonna do this for a friend. Yes, he's paying me. He has to pay me or I wouldn't even touch it. And I still didn't want to do it even though he's paying me to do it. I still had to double think it. I hope, you know, and I've worked on these things in the past. Never owned one. This one is the first brand new one I've had in my cave ever. But anyway, so to get back to what we're talking about, the guy that had the problem, that had the misfortune of destroying a very expensive vehicle, this is what I'm going to do. And I know he's going to watch this video. I already reached out to Chris, San Pedro 1/5. Anybody that's watching this, you can relay the message. I'm sure he'll find out eventually. I have a brand new, where's it at? Oh, hold on a minute. I have a brand new, where's that? Brand new let me get it. Brand new Rooster Tail 990. These are about $130. This thing's brand new. I only used it once. Okay, it's cleaned up, brand new. I'm never gonna use it. You guys know in my small bores, my 34 OBR and my Taylor, I run the 1242 in the Taylor, which is the first version of the 1242 when it first came out by OBR that they had done specifically for them from Walboro. It's modified, bored out, and that's in the 35. And then I run the newer one, which is a 1254, I think it is, or 1258. It's the newer version, also modified and bored out. That's in this. So I switched them around. I wanted the newer one in my OBR. I love these carburetors, man. These carburetors, they're made for that just constant off and on throttle. The 990 Rooster Tail, that's not what it's made for. This just dumps a lot of fuel. These are good, okay, I guess for big bores. I don't know because I haven't ran a big bore yet. A lot of guys use them for drag racing. But as far as if you're bashing, that's what I highly recommend. I mean, you know, Woogie Nitro already told you. You know, and I can tell you because I've ran them both. The only thing I haven't ran is 1107, but maybe try one of those later on a big bore, but it has an even bigger opening. But the 1242, you know, and the OBR carburetor, 1242 or the 1258 or whatever, is way better than this carburetor. Head and shoulders for for these vehicles, for the small bores. And I don't know, maybe a big bore, if you can run one on it, I would try one on a big bore. These, I just don't care. But anyway, I know he needs that carburetor. I'm never going to use it. I could sell it if I want, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it to him for free. Okay? He needs to reach out to me, and he knows how to do it. This is not a peace offering. Doesn't mean we're going to go, you know, have a cup of coffee or go hang out. Doesn't mean we're buddies. You know, like I said, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he does and don't condone, but that's his channel. He can do whatever the heck he wants, just like anybody else. Okay, like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just want to emphasize that. But I am part of the RC community. I am part of 5BILET. The past is the past. You know, I just almost had a near-death experience, man. You know, I was in you guys don't even know, man. Some of you guys do. I was in bad shape. I just thank God, you know, and maybe this is a way for me to turn a new leaf, you know. He needs this carburetor. It's a $130 carburetor. Somebody else donates one to him, that's fine. If he doesn't even want it because he just hates me, then that's fine. I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody. It's not in my DNA. You know what I mean? We just don't see eye to eye, and, you know, we can agree to disagree or whatever. This is because I'm man enough to understand that the community, sometimes people need a hand. People need help. And I know he's really in that vehicle is in bad shape right now. I'm willing to give this to him. He can think of it as a donation to his channel. I don't care, whatever. You know, it's just, I think for me, it's the right thing to do. I'm never going to use it. I explained all this to Chris. Chris already knows 1/5. I'm going to give this to him. Nitro Freak. Hey bro. The past is the past. Time to bury the hatchet. Okay, I know you're hurting right now, and I'd be in a lot of pain. I'd be crying. You know, if that ever happened to this, oh my God, if that ever happened to that, I'd quit. I don't know what I'd do. I can't even think about that. But anyway, I'm not gonna harp on you. I don't know why you ran it without the body. Whatever. Hope you learn. But anyway, the bottom line is, I'm willing to give this to you for free. I don't want anything in return. I just, you know, it's the right thing to do. I'm never going to use it. To even sell it, it's too much of a hassle. I don't got the time. I don't need the money. Okay, so that's yours if you want it. I explained everything to Chris. Reach out to me, you know, I mean, if you don't want it, that's fine. I'll sell it or maybe give it to somebody else. Okay, I just think that's the right thing to do. Okay, as a member of the RC community, and especially 5BILET, I just think it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't need it to promote anything. I don't need it to gain views, it's just because it is the right thing to do. You know, he needs help, and hopefully, you know, I know other people are reaching out to him and helping him and whatever. That's my contribution, you know, to think of it as it's to the RC community, you know. It's just the right thing to do. But anyway, that's this video. This is probably going to be a little bit over an hour, maybe an hour. Hope you guys enjoy. Probably won't be any ripping of this. I've got to work on this joyous savage for my friend, but maybe the next video we'll just do like maybe a 35-40 minute video of just running the 5B, and hopefully everything I put back together right and it holds up. We'll find out. And we definitely won't be running with no body. Heck no. Too much money, man. So anyway, Nitro's coming up. Got a lot of engines to break in, like I mentioned. I got like 7 engines, or 6 or 7 that I still, modified engines that I gotta, not break in, but, you know, idle a couple tanks in them and just start ripping them. So that will be coming to a theater near you. Alright, well, that's about it. I gotta get to work. I only got a handful of hours today. And yeah, so that's you know, like I said, it's not a peace offering, or it's the right thing to do, man. Like I said, I'm not going to use it. I know he needs it. That carburetor, you break those nipples, they're done. You can't fix it. So anyway, anybody, you know, let him know. I'm sure he'll probably find out, but you know, it's just, again, I mean, I feel for the guy, man. I really do, because I know, You know, if that happened to me, oh God, I don't know what I'd do. I probably would cry. I don't care. I would cry. I would cry myself to sleep. So anyway, yeah, we got this thing. This thing is just sick. I can't wait to drop something in it. Even the small. I know my 34 reed, because this thing is really light, will rip this thing like crazy. You guys will see. So anyway, that'll be coming up. It is the ultimate vehicle for sure, man. Again, the Bugatti of fifth scale trucks, man. The body, I think I'm gonna send it to Barry. Probably gonna cost me a couple hundred, few $100 or whatever. I'm thinking of a different version of a God of War, because that will match the big bore that I put in it later. So it will more be a black and red type theme. So instead of just doing like the paint jobs, I thought about doing that up there, like I said, but still undecided. I don't know. Well, there's no hurry. This is going to be a project in the work for the next few months, so I'm not in any hurry. All right, people, that's all I got. There's probably an hour or more. Muggy's out. And remember, people, at the end of the day, whatever makes you happy and whatever floats your boat is all that matters. And don't run your stuff without bodies on them. Please. Please. It's not worth it. Alright. Peace. I'm out.